Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be going through some of my top picks of the year of 2018 for albums and songs. 2018 has been an interesting year to say the least, and music is no exception to that. We've had a lot of artists taking influence from 1980s synth pop, we've had shorter style rap albums, kind of like EPs, and we've had a flurry of new and upcoming artists or previous ones that are just pushing their sound to a new level. So here's to the midway point of 2018. Hopefully the rest of the year produces some more great music. One quick note before I get into listing off these albums and songs, know that there's no particular order or ranking in terms of their quality, and this is just my own personal opinion. So first off on the list that I have here is Parquet with their newest record, Wide Awake. This American post-punk revivalist group has a lead vocalist that reminds me quite a bit of like a Joey Ramone or Joe Strummer. And a lot of this new record has seamless pacing and flawless tempo changes within certain tracks. Sonically, like other post-punk artists, Parquet incorporates experimental sounds, synthesizers, repetition, and even the occasional disco element. With Parquet, they lean towards the art-based side of things, which basically means that they're more sophisticated based on their education while creating their music. With the core sound of punk, you always tend to get that anti-mainstream value to it, but with Wide Awake, I feel like it's toned down a bit. It feels a little more accessible and slightly less aggressive compared to like proto-punk. So overall, Parquet with their newest record, Wide Awake, has a more refined production value to it while throwing in a lot of reflective, critical, or even ironic lyrics. Next up, we have MGMT with their newest record, Little Dark Age, and man, the hiatus for this group paid off with a fun synth-pop, neo-psychedelic gem of an album. This thing is like the easiest thing to listen to. There's a little bit of everything to it in terms of the vibe, the tempo, the melodies, so it should appeal to a wider audience compared to the previous MGMT record. Another great full-length album from the first half of 2018, it actually just came out right at the end of June. It is Florence and the Machine's High as Hope. And this new Florence record is very personal, melancholic, even terrifying at times, as it feels like a bit of a philosophical exploration or journey. 4 albums deep into the English alternative rock band's discography, and I'm not let down at all. The core Florence sound is persisting through all of these albums, but with time, I feel like this band is just quickly becoming wiser and more mature with its age. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Jack White and his newest record, Boarding House Reach. Blues, hip-hop, electronica, rock, and country are just some of the genres that you'll see hints of on this album that immediately propels itself to be one of my favorites of the year. At last, the Seven Nation Army creator has the most cohesive project to his solo career yet, and is easily one of the most successful experimental records of the 2010s. Next up, we have Kids See Ghosts, better known as Kanye West and Kid Cudi. And if you saw my review on this album, you would know that this is my very first 10 out of 10 on this channel. I'm not going to talk about it here, but just know if you're a hater or one of those people that just don't like this album, I will defend it for all of its glory. Another great record from 2018 so far comes from Janelle Monae with Dirty Computer. Sonically, this new record has 80s pop, funk, and R&B mixed creatively and hypnotically, just like the influence for this album, Prince. Another artist who's touching on similar kind of sounds with 80s synth pop is Charlie Puth with his album Voice Notes. I honestly couldn't come up with a better title for this record, as Charlie just soars beautifully and majestically over top of all of these songs. In addition to the great vocal performances on Voice Notes, we get the catchiest collection of songs put out to date by Charlie. I just feel like he's finding his own sound, and I'm glad that the piano ballads are almost out of his system at this point. Another great record of 2018 so far is Leon Bridges' Good Thing. On this album we get 80s R&B and funk being put together effortlessly with nostalgic synthesizers, groovy bass, and a soothing vocalist to boot. Some Canadian content here for you as Yukon Blonde's Critical Hit. The indie rock electronic group also finds their influences rooted in 1980s synth pop, not like this is an emerging trend in this video. Believe me, I do like other music. But back on topic, the most noteworthy parts of this album Critical Hit are the jam-out sessions between the band members while crafting longer form songs. Next up, we have Post Malone's Beerbongs and Bentleys, a little bloated at times, especially near its final leg, but Post is a unique artist artist who innovatively blends his singing and rapping in a jam-packed bag of party hits with introspection. And I would also argue that Post Malone is capturing the most influential movement in hip-hop since Drake's big break with the album Take Care. In other words, the future is bright for this guy. Now a little bit of a controversial album here with Tell Me How You Really Feel by Courtney Barnett. And when I say controversial, I mean it in terms of the deadpan spoken word delivery of the vocals. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but for me it is. Well, I mean, if I actually did like tea to begin with, but regardless, Courtney Barnett has made one of the most interesting albums from front to back this year. Courtney even plunges into feminist rock on some of these songs, and it's a remarkable direction to take in addition to the alternative rock tendencies that are brought to the forefront of this record. Next up we have Young Fathers with Cocoa Sugar, a Scottish band that creates hip-hop with a pop appeal to its hooks and choruses. And at times you'll probably be questioning whether the sounds that this group is incorporating into their music, whether or not it's going to be effective, but trust me, it is. And now I'm going to do a few shoutouts for some albums. I'm not really going to give descriptions to them, but here we go. We have Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats for Tearing at the Seams, Father John Misty's newest record, God's Favorite Customer, the newest full-length project from the Decemberists called I'll Be Your Girl, Jin Wigmore, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but her newest record, Ivory, just kicks ass. Our Lady Peace, Somethingness, AWOL Nation, Here Come the Runts, Franz Ferdinand, Always Ascending, and US Girls in a Poem Unlimited. And now I'm going to switch over to the favorite songs of the year. Just know that I'm not going to be picking songs off of those previous albums that I mentioned. First up, we have Stone Temple Pilots with the track The Art of Letting Go. And I was very hesitant going into this album, especially with the previous lead singer dying. And they were so quick to put in a new person. And we all know what happened to 3 Days Grace when they had to replace their vocalist very quickly. But hey, with Stone Temple Pilots, I was actually surprised with how good this album was. And in particular, the one song, The Art of Letting Go, delivered one of the most notable songs of the year. Next up, I'm not even going to bother pronouncing the artist's name. It will be on the screen, don't worry. It features Post Malone, you know Post Malone obviously, but this song is Jackie Chan. Just from the opening lo-fi guitar riff and the elements of electronica and rap, this infectious earworm is among the catchiest on this list. And I also appreciate the limited number of times that the beat drops in this song. Another great 2018 track is On Lonely by Jason Mraz. It's just a cute and cuddly pop song that pushes through with the folk and singer-songwriter genres as well. Another one of my favorites is Nice for What by Drake, a Lauryn Hill sample, melodic singing, and Drake talking about girls. Yeah, he's got a lot of fans of this pop tune. And the Carters also came out with a great song this year with Ape Shit. The flow from Beyonce and Jay-Z is ridiculously hard and tight. This will just be a banger for clubs with its thunderous production from Pharrell, while remaining relevant to the social commentary of living as a famous black person in the 21st century. And now I'm going to do some quick shoutouts for the rest of the songs here. Let's go. We have Childish Gambino's America, Kamasi Washington's Hub Tones, Tove Stark with Sway. I don't know how you pronounce her name, I'm sorry. Bazzi with the song Myself. James Bay's Pink Lemonade. We have The Long Shot, which is Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day with the song The Last Time. First Aid Kit came through with a great track, Rebel Heart. Island has the song The Day I Die. Dear Rouge with the song Motion. 3 Days Grace with The Abyss. Also Dining Alone by Shaky Graves. Arctic Monkeys, She Looks Like Fun, and 4 out of 5. Kanye West, Yikes, and Violent Crimes, both great songs as well. Panic at the Disco, I wasn't a big fan of that newest record, but High Hopes was definitely a great song off of it. Vance Joy with We're Going Home, Runaways by Lowell. Rainbow Kitten Surprise with the song Fever Pitch. The Voids with Alien Nation. Nas, Adam and Eve. Alice Merton with the song Lash Out. Some more Canadian content here. We get the song Nobody by the Sheepdogs. Come Along by Cosmo Sheldrake. Stupid Love by Dan and Shay. Gold Rush by Death Cab for Cutie. Car Seat Headrest with their newest record that was redone from I think 2011. But the one song that stuck out in my mind is Sober to Death. I also wasn't a big fan of George Ezra's newest record, but The Beautiful Dream was a good song. Motivate by J. Cole, I did not like his newest record, KOD, whatsoever except for this song. All the Stars with Kendrick Lamar and SZA, a great cut off of that Black Panther soundtrack. Call Out My Name by The Weeknd. Set in Stone by Milk and Bone, which is a Canadian group. The Middle Is Gone by Moby. And lastly, Lost in Japan by Shawn Mendes. That is a little bit of a guilty pleasure song for me. And we get the Wombats with their song Cheetah Tongue. So yeah, let me know what you're thinking of that list. Again, there's no particular order in terms of quality or ranking, and it is only my personal opinion. Sound off down below in the comments, let me know what you're thinking. Agree or disagree, I'm here to engage with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My name is Ryan from True North Reviews, and as always, have a rockin' day. Thanks for watching.